T-34 is flown by Mike Forte, Alan Smith on his right, with Fred Van Hilt, Dan Blackwell Sr. and Dan Blackwell Jr. Get your cameras out, get ready to listen. This is a beautiful B-25 Panchito. Takes off. Larry Kelly controls the aircraft safely. This is his own airplane. He flies this. Gets his right R2600 just wound up down there coming down the runway. I see the prop tips going out there. I can't see the airplane yet, but I see the props. The beautiful B-25 Panchito. Folks, 16 B-25s being launched April 18, 1942 from the carrier deck USS Hornet with the first surprise attack on the Japanese. I hear it, but I don't see it. Ah, the TBM. I think Tom Knox that controls the TBM this afternoon. Now we got Jerry Rush that controls TBM this afternoon. Our past President George Bush flew the TBM during World War II. This aircraft, not this particular airplane, but this particular style or type aircraft was flown by our past President George Bush. And as our B-25 with Larry Kelly controls takes the lead out there over the T-34s forming up. The B-25 was probably the most famous twin-engine medium bomber during World War II. It was produced in great numbers, greater than any other twin-engine combat aircraft. Again, April 18th, 1942, when 16 B-25s under the command of Lieutenant Colonel James Doolittle were launched from the aircraft carrier Hornet and attacked Tokyo in a daring one-way raid. Larry Kelly acquired this B-25 in 1997. This B-25 was delivered to the United States Air Force just late in the action during World War II and was used in various duties until assigned to the Air Training Command in 1948, where it was used until 1954 as a training aircraft. In 1955, it was put through a huge conversion to a TB-25N configuration and served with various Air National Guard units. And I'll take over, we have a T-28. In 1958, the aircraft was retired to the Davis-Moffett Air Force Base. It was retired. First sold back to civilian in 1955, it was used as a fire bomber in Arizona, and then later was an Orange Grove sprayer in Florida. This B-25 was immaculately restored to the original World War II condition by Tom Riley, Vintage Aircraft, Bombertown in Kissimmee, Florida in 1986. It was finished as Panchito. This airplane served as the 396 Bomb Squadron, the 41st Bomb Group, with the 7th Air Force and stationed in Central Pacific. Panchito was scheduled for the 13th bombing run on Japan the day the Japanese surrendered. Larry Kelly, based out of down at Cambridge, Maryland, with the airplane. Now, T-34 flight was forming up in formation for us. Forming up in formation, if I said it correctly. Larry's house, or I guess you want to call it the distinct honor. He's been shuttling the Air Force guys, back and Thunderbird crew, back and forth between Atlantic City and Millville here. He's been having a ball taking these guys and gals back and forth, and they've been having fun too, riding inside the B-25. we're doing a 50 tickets at the museum vending area, which is in front of the museum, right in front of Big Sky out there. So you wander around, hey, you want to pick up a 50-50 ticket, you may go home rich today. And if you're really nice, you'll donate it back to the museum. How about that? And our T-34 fly with Mike Forte, Alan Smith, Fred Van Helt, Dan Blackwell Sr., and Dan Blackwell Jr. And a T-28 break. And our second T-28. Now, take close attention to the airplane. It looks a lot like an F-86. This was a T for training aircraft. They trained most of them pilots to step up into the next step aircraft, which was the F-86. On bombing pads, Larry Kelly and Pam Cheeto. Larry was just down in Columbia, South Carolina, where they trained and formed the Doolittle Raiders. This was the 60th anniversary of the aircraft. Just about 2 weeks ago, they had this 60th anniversary of the Doolittle Raiders down in Columbia, South Carolina. Larry flew Panchito, this airplane right here, was the lead aircraft, and Larry was also the flight ops for this momentous event. They had 11 B-25s flying formation. Our TBM from right to left pass the R-2600 in front of the TBM coming through the bomb bay door up. You see how big that bomb bay is. That carried a torpedo. Hence the TBM, the torpedo bomber. It was a carrier-based airplane. The wings do fold up on that airplane. And we got T-28 on close pass again, from right to left. Jackets out there, you got a 426 Hemi in front of your car, so that's a big block. Yeah, that sounds good. Hemi's a good engine, nothing against that. Okay, the B-25's got 14 cylinders, cranking out 2,600 cubic inches, and putting out about 1,700 horsepower. Beat that. B-25s built during its run. There's 34 flying in the world today. 34. Now, tell me, folks, I keep saying it, and I'm going to push it because you're not going to see these airplanes flying a whole lot longer. It takes money to keep these airplanes flying. What makes an airplane fly? It is not wind over the wings, it's money. You're feeding 3,400 horsepower out there as he flies by. These airplanes are maintained by mostly all private personnel. The Millville Army Airfield has their museum back here with airplanes. The Mid-Atlantic Air Museum has their briefing time B-25 parked up on the ramp. If you're wandering around, you see these guys set up little tents selling memorabilia, pins, hats, jackets, 50-50. Hey, pick up a jacket. Your money helps keep these airplanes in the air. We got the Spirit of Freedom C-54 back here. Wander around, talk to these people, buy one of their t-shirts. That's what keeps that airplane flying. These guys get that airplane all over the country. One of our T-28s. Now, there also was a carrier-based airplane. They learned to fly off the carriers and capture them on the deck of the aircraft carriers. You see the tail hook hanging out of the back of the T-28. fire today. You're going to see the bomb bays open. Bomb bay doors open. Larry pitches the beautiful B-25 J model up. Bombs away. They had to climb to drop the bombs so that bombs, when they exploded, did not hit the airplane. Larry just been cleared to Atlantic City. He's going over to pick up some more of the Thunderbirds this afternoon. Pick them up and bring them back after the program this afternoon. First, with the landing lights on. You couldn't ask for a more perfect day for an air show. I mean, the wind, man, it was howling out here yesterday. Today, almost dead calm. Beautiful blue skies out there. We got airplanes to look at all over the place. Our T-34 flights coming in, they're brake to landing. This was typical back during the World War, still typical today. The airplanes approach the airport at cruise speed. Pitch to brake. That would slow the aircraft down while during their pitch up and turn to brake. They actually throw the gear lever down. The gear car starts falling out of the bottom side of the airplane. Gear check on downwind leg.